pay attention to this camera here. So if you're not in that camera, you're not where I need you to be. Okay, so here's the thing. Remember that it's important for your partner, like when you're doing this as partner training, that they need to offer you the right energy on the point of contact, or else there's no way to do the movement, right? Because we're always paying attention to what the pressure on the cross is telling us. So if somebody gives you this point of contact and then they start rolling in this way, where is the empty? The gap is on this side. So you would be flowing out this way, right? So there's not this move. So it's always important for your partner that when they want to create a condition for you to be able to do the move. So they're going to try and hold like a bit more flat on the point. And then also, this is more of a second section point of contact. So if the opponent is touching you down on the first section, then again, it's not going to be impossible, but you probably wouldn't do like this particular move. All right, so from starting from here. So we did pull push. Now his knee is bothering him, so we're in the opposite stance right now. So that means I'm going to do it on the opposite side. I'm going to be doing it on the left hand instead of the right hand. But the application is the same regardless, right? It should be convex from here. If you're concave, I don't need to do the move. I can just go in. All right. Now, so from here, right, like I said, I'm going to initiate with my thumb projecting, like I'm trying to capture his upper center point with my thumb. I'm creating one line direct there. One, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. And like I said, at this point, let's drop this hand so they can see. My thumb is connecting like back toward my dantian, creating, again, this sagittal circle. So from here then is 1, 2, 3, 4, pointing back to me. And what we're doing here from this, you could say, I'm closing. I need to give close to my opponent. So you can think of like I'm using my elbow, like to give 1 close, 2 close. Okay, now I'm going to hold this point and bring back up to try and strike. Now, if I didn't cross his halfway line, I won't be able to strike him, and it's okay, because as the second part of the move, like we're here, this is where I'm going to, like I said, I wrap this is a frontal movement. I just start with it as a rotation. My thumb to my pinky, like into out, where it's a counterclockwise rotation. And then once I get to my pinky is like at, in this case, because remember, I'm reversed now. So my pinky's at 9 o'clock. If we were doing it with the right hand, my pinky would be at 3 o'clock. I change to like a frontal rotation. And also my opponent is going to be trying to close me, right? So it's either or. If he doesn't try to close me, so like when I come here with my thumb, index, like 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. And then I roll to come up to strike him, right, on the face. If he doesn't try to close me, I'm going to cross the halfway line and I'll just be able to hit him right in the forehead. If he does close me, it brings me right with that frontal rotation and tracing the ball. It just brings me right to his tricep. And now I'm in the position to be able to do like this arm drag. So that's where from here that I step behind me deep, shift my weight to my rear leg. And you see that when I shift my weight, you see how it pulls him up out of his base, right? So if I don't shift, or I don't shift deep enough, when I try to do the arm drag with the horizontal movement, he's still stable. Like there's a lot of inertia here that is going to be difficult to overcome. So it's going to be trying to like throw a ton of bricks, right? But when I shift my weight, if I shift my weight deep enough, so you need to feel like the connection, right? So we have to like, let's go back and we talk about the 3 qualities of engagement, right? That you need to make sure that you've taken the slack out of your partner's body. So if I get to here, like to the arm drag, and he still has a bunch of slack in the system, like when I step and I dragged my weight, but I only moved myself. I didn't move him because I didn't connect. I didn't extend my connection, right? Like by using some absorb and some condense, and that the attention is there, that I already feel that I have a connection down to his feet. That if I can feel like down to his feet, right, from here, like there's a different from here, this, I'm grabbing him. I haven't taken the slack out of his system yet. So when I step deep, he moves a little bit, but not that much. And then again, when I try to do this drag, it's like trying to move a ton of bricks. So I'm here like in this, again, like this cat stance is like a stealing step, right? Like I'm cocking my leg to get ready for the big step back. But before I initiate that big step back, I have to make sure that I'm extending my network through his body, that I can already feel from the point of contact. Like, so I'm have like a little absorb and condense, right? Absorb and condense. So that now I can feel where his weight is on his feet. That means if I can feel like, you could say like the cross on his feet. If I am aware of where his weight is on his feet, then by default, for sure, I've connected like one center to another center. So I have that center to center connection, that when I step deep now, and now when I shift my hips, you see his whole body is coming with me. And then, so I'm using my whole body weight to, like tip the barrel, right? Once you tip the barrel, then you can roll it and move it easily. When the barrel's flat and stable, it's a lot of effort to try and slide that barrel around. So again, from this position, like once I get in here, I need to make sure that it's a little bit of the energy of absorb and condense. I have the connection of center to center. Now I step and I shift my whole, you can say like my whole balance, or along the balance beam line. And then once he starts moving, then I can just finish with that horizontal rotation, is just to finish him, right? It just throws him off. Okay, so then, but now opponent can always adjust, right? The opponent can always change. So, because there's no such thing as only you can change, right? They can change too. So I step and I drag I do the drag, but he adjusts his feet and takes a little stutter step. Okay, now he just saved himself, right? So from here, I'm going to close myself and shift my body weight back, boom, and just hit him with my shoulder. That's like the shoulder stroke. All right, so it's like there's a sequence. Go ahead.
Once again, this wonderful shoulder stroke.
Yeah. So if you there's three possibilities here, right? And so the first one is like I'm trying to hit my opponent in the face. If that doesn't work, he closes me. I go for the arm drag. So now I have his tricep, right? So I have two hands on one hand. I step behind me and I shift my weight to uproot, and I'm gonna like try to pull him. It's gonna depend on the environment, right? Like if I turn my camera just a little bit, you can see like in this environment, I have all this shelf space and stuff right here. Like we're in a tight environment. So when I drag him, and if I just throw him, boom, I'm just going to try and throw him. I'm just going to try and bounce my opponent off the wall or throw him into like some object or whatever. If you have more room, right, and I throw him and he starts moving by, I just sweep. All right, because he's already moving in this direction, and I can just sweep him and finish and to throw him down, right? Or he takes the stutter step and he adjusts himself, bang, and I just come back with the bam, the shoulder stroke. So that's the application of drag and shoulder. All right, so while I still have we have about 15 minutes, and I still have my partner. So if there's anything here that you guys are unclear on, let's do Q&A.
There's no real question. I think you answered it, but I have to taste it with Andreas together tomorrow, because we had always the problem until we get here was clear and fine, and took the opponent, but the rotation was not clear. But I think you answered it. I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't shift the weight, well, like I said, first of all, if you don't connect center to center, like before you step and before you shift, you have to feel their feet. Make sure that you got to make sure that you've taken the slack out of their system.
Yeah.
Now, in a fight, like in a real fight, people are going to be tight, right? Like, so they're going to connect for you, unless they're very, very experienced fighters and they can stay relaxed and loose in the middle. You know, like if they're good grapplers or whatever, they'll be relaxed because they have that skill, right? But generally speaking, that, you know, when two people are touching each other in the middle of a hand-to-hand combat, like they're trying to apply force to each other. So if he's trying to push on me or pull me, there's already some connection here, right? So since he's already tight, I just need to take like a little step, like, right? Boom. But if he's being loose, right, he's trying to be tricky and he's using some skill, this is where I just absorb and condense a little bit. Just go to my dantian, right? And until I feel that I need the line. Just feel the line from the feet to the point of contact. It should be like one line, right? And if you've got the line of that tension, then you can move, right? But I need the line first. So like something that I've been saying in my classes here lately is that like just contact is not enough, right? Like if somebody's touching you, you have to touch them back. Like that's meeting, right? And then you have to, you know, because engagement is an active thing, right? We talk about the three qualities of engagement: circle to center, center to center, center with cross. It's an active thing. You have to do all three, right? So like I said, it's that you're stretching out and extending that network before you try to do anything. Because if I haven't like extended out that network, I don't have the connection through his body. Like anything I move, I'm just moving his hands, right? I need to, then if if I move him, I move the whole body, not just the hands. All right, so it's that center to center. And then, like I said, so it's, go ahead.
Yeah, is it similar to waving hands forward and backward? So when I pull and absorb, condense, and push, then like in this move, when you go back and go here.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, okay.
because there's like the 4 quarters to get the whole loop.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that was what I wanted to also cover, was I wanted to try and get this into a little bit more detail so that you guys can see. So I've done the arm drag, right? And I shifted my weight. And so I've already like pulled him sort of up out of his base, right? Take a half step back for me, a little bit more. Okay, good. All right. So we're here. I've already pulled him forward. So his weight should be in his toe. So if you're looking at the cross on the feet, I should, or if I'm feeling the cross on his feet, I should feel that his weight is already like forward to his toe. Now from here, like I said, you can do it 2 different ways. Is one like waving hands. So from this position, I can initiate, like, okay, like this movement is largely just horizontal, right? I just rotate my whole body, my hands and my shoulders to finish the throw. But before I can do a little loop from here, I can go, like for me, this would be like a sagittal loop. Like, you see how I do that little wave before I turn the body? Again, just to create another little loop. Or I can do, instead of like this, like sagittal loop, I can just go, it's horizontal, like this. Yeah, right? Or it can be like waving hands. You do a little wave. So I would step, shift, wave, and then turn. Or I can step, shift, loop, like press it out to go. Go ahead, Tom. I saw that you had a question.
Yeah. Just can you show me the footwork?
Say again, you broke up a little bit.
Can you show us the footwork?
Okay.
What feet's doing?
Right. So I think you're good. Just be ready for me to call you back. So the end of the pull and the push. So remember, I'm backwards right now. Should be your right leg forward, but I'm backwards, right? So I'm doing it mirror. So the hand, you do the sagittal energy, like creating this loop. And when you're, it should be like condense, condense, condense into this cat stance. Press the hand up, strike the face, scoop to the tricep. Now I step deep, shift, loop, and turn. Okay. Then I shift back and shoulder stroke. All right, so let me do that one more time. Like, here's the pull, push with a weight shift, sagittal, boom, this. Strike the face, scoop to the arms, step, shift, whirl, shoulder stroke is again with another weight shift. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
So it's actually very simple because it's only one step. I just condense and go into this cat stance. Then I just take a big step behind me, straight back, shift, shift.
Yeah. And you open your feet slightly when you step back.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to just be like a comfortable, a stable stance, right? So it's like there's not one right exact foot position. It's just going to be, are the 9 solid and 1 empty there? Is the center of gravity force aligned correctly? And the triangle energy on the 𝒂, right? 13 points, always tell us. All right, so the one thing that I wanted to also, again, so 4 strategies, right? So we're looking at the move from 4 strategies, that the hand that's doing the sagittal loop, I'm giving close, close. And this is like, I use the elbow, like project, and then it's condense. Does that make sense? Because if my hand is moving back toward my body, is like condensing. Close, close down. Then it's like open. And if you can, you open to strike, or they close you and you grab, you reach across when they close you to grab. All right, so again, like one more time, let me grab you from here, where we're a little bit close from here. Let's go like with the camera. It's all right from here. All right. That when I start that motion by pointing my thumb, like pointing my thumb towards his sternum, it's like I'm closing horizontal, close, and then close down. So it's horizontal, vertical. But when I go, see, it's important for me to be able to see what's going on here on the point, that I'm trying to keep this flat so that his hand is stuck to me, right? Because I don't want to, like, don't chase my hand. Boom, right? If I just try to drop into this sagittal and I don't engage the point, so that means I need circle to center, center to center, and then the center with the cross on the point. Because otherwise I just do this sagittal, I'm just dropping my hand, don't chase me. Boom, right? So, and then anytime that you feel like somebody is being soft on the point, threaten their face more, right? Because usually like you project a little bit or you give them some threat, and usually that's when people will engage more. All right, so like now, see, I threaten his face and he engages a little bit more. Now I give close, close, and see, now his hand is more trapped. See, because it's so flat here. Then I pivot on this point to bring it back up, and I'm trying to like open so that I can attack. But he doesn't let me open him. He closes me instead to protect himself, and that brings me right across his body to the opposite side, so that then I can step and throw him. Right? So like I just want to review these important concepts so that we start to look at the 21 form not as a technique, but I mean, it is a choreographed move, but the important thing is to use it as a tool to break down like a series of continuous movements, but to find the principles within them, like the 4 strategies, like 10-10, right? But especially 4 strategies, like where's closing, where's opening? And the 3 qualities of engagement: circle to center, center to center, center with cross. And the 5 qualities of movement: absorbing, projecting, expanding, condensing, concave and convex, right? And open and close. So there's another thing, like, right, when your partner is working with you, that your partner needs to have the right energy. So that point of contact, turn slightly. Let's turn your shoulders to the camera. There we go. All right, so where's his hand? It's outside of his body line. But this energy, you see from here, he's slightly concave. is already the wrong energy. I don't need to do anything. I can just go in and strike. If your partner isn't convex, it's right. Like it's tough to get the right engagement, but you don't need it. Like if he's concave, because you're already inside the diameter line, so you wouldn't have to do anything to just hit him. Right. So when you're working with your partners to do the applications, like the partner needs to have the right energy too, or else, right, like I said, because if there's already a gap there, you just flow into the gap and attack. Because the condition is already there for you to attack. Like some of this movement is, okay, because let's go back and review that you got to keep in mind that, okay, he's holding the ball, right? So now there's 3 different ways that I can attack. Either I can let his like stay unified, right? So like his ball is strong, right? So I can just, boom, bounce the whole ball. That's 1. 2, I can try to collapse the ball. Or 3, I can try to penetrate the ball and to go like crossing the halfway line. So 3 different ways to attack.